Okay. Before I had this OnePlus 6T, I had the OnePlus 3T, which had to be sold in last December in order for me to get this one. And to be honest with you, the guy who bought the 3T from me was absolutely amazed to see how the phone was in absolutely mint condition with absolutely no scratches or even spots on the phone, even though I had it for over 2 years. Well, the question arises, how the hell did I keep my phone in that kind of a condition for over 2 years? I mean, it's got a metal back, which is easy to get spots on and scratches on. Well, the simple answer was, I had a Poetic case on it ever since I got it, and well, it's worth mentioning that I bought it from my own money, so that you guys know that I wasn't paid to say all this. Well, now that I have the 6T, which literally demands protection because of its glass front and back, I decided to reach out to Poetic, and before I reached out to them, I had a look at their cases, which seemed to be really good. And since I have used Poetic for the past 2 years before this, I did have quite high expectations from them. So what I ended up doing was I reached out to them, and well, Poetic was kind enough to send me not 1, not 2, but 3 Poetic cases for me to try on and share with you. So well, why should I be the only one to know about a really good case for the OnePlus 6T? What about your OnePlus 6T? So well, I'm here with 3 cases to show you guys for your OnePlus 6T, so that you don't end up breaking it, because it's a really delicate phone. Now, Poetic might have sent these cases out, but this video in no way is going to be biased towards Poetic. Yes, whatever I say will be subjective to my use, but nothing in the video is going to be forcefully in favor of Poetic. So that's that. Now let's take a look at all these 3 cases that Poetic sent out to me, starting with my favorite one, the Guardian. The Guardian's a perfect blend of design and transparency for me. Second one is the Revolution, which covers the back entirely but also gives you the option to have a stand, which is pretty cool. And thirdly, Lumos, a tough and rugged fully transparent case. Now if you feel like you don't like the look of any of these cases and you've striked it off of your liking list already, well then for your convenience I've divided this video in 2 different parts. One being the review for Revolution and Guardian, which are the 2 bulky cases of the bunch and have a lot more in common, so I clubbed them in one. And the other one being the transparent one, of course. So if you want to jump to a different one or just want to look at one of these cases reviews, then you can use these timestamps. Well, I don't know, well, there's gonna be somewhere on the screen. You can use these timestamps to jump straight to the review of that one. So without any further ado, let's jump into the first ones. Starting off with my favorite ones of the bunch, the Guardian and the Revolution. These are 2-piece cases, meaning they have a front and a back element. The front element has a screen guard on it, but you can choose to remove it if you feel like, just like I have. And before anyone asks, yes, the fingerprint sensor works perfectly fine even when I had a tempered glass and the screen guard with the screen protector on it on the phone. It also feels slightly flimsy, the screen guard, and whenever you touch on the screen whenever you're typing or doing anything, you can hear that plastic touch the screen and it just annoys the shit out of me, and that is why I have it off. So it's always an option to take it off. The back element covers the entire back, obviously, and makes the phone look freaking amazing. As for me, since I used to love the Guardian so much, I used to rock skins on my phone, and this case looks crazy with the skin on the device. Now because I was reviewing these 3 cases at the same time, I used to take these cases on and off so often that I used to end up peeling the skins off of my phone. So that kind of ruined it for me, and I've been rocking this case, as you can see, on the vanilla purple back of my OnePlus 6T, and it still looks amazing in my opinion. The buttons are really tactile on both cases to press, which is a great thing, but what I don't like here is that it becomes really difficult for me to access that alert slider. The flap for that and also the charging port are really rugged and tough, which is both a good and a bad thing. The alert slider is still accessible, but for someone like me with small nails, it becomes a bit of a task to get to it and slide it up and down, but the same thing can't be said for the charging port. It's comparatively really easy to use because the cable goes in the hole and not your finger. What? But on the bright side, since these are completely sealed, water will not get a chance to get in the case and ruin your phone. Even though the 6T is water resistant, it has the protection against water. Moreover, even the camera cutout has a bit of a rubber lining, so the water cannot seep in even through this cutout. The corners of these cases have extra material that protrudes out of the case. This is done for extra impact resistance on the corners. Now to be honest with you, I have dropped my phone quite a few times with this case, and I'm not gonna lie, all thanks to this case, my phone is still undented, unscratched, and unshattered. Is that what you say? Unshattered or non-shattered? Well, it hasn't broken into small pieces and bits of glass. That's what I'll go with. The strength and protection of these cases do come at a cost though. First off, this will make your phone really bulky and heavy. And like I said in my OnePlus 3T Poetic video, I really don't mind the extra bulk and weight. In fact, I do like a little bit of bulk on my phone anyway. So it's a win-win for me. Yes, these cases do take the bulk and the weight to a whole new level, but I'm willing to make that kind of a trade-off for crazy protection. Secondly, these cases are real bitches to get on and off. Like, you need a lot of strength, power, time, 12 kg dumbbells, protein powder, and a full-on workout plan to get these cases on and off. Well, not really, but you get the point. You need to handle two components at once, and you need to align one element with the other so that it fits perfectly snug fit. And when it comes to the Revolution case, even the stand takes a lot of effort to pull out and put back in, so just keep that in mind. For me, I look at the convenience, practicality, and the looks, so the Guardian was the perfect choice for me. Something I need to point out here is that after a while of using these two cases, it seems like the corners of the front element got slightly bent because of taking the case on and off so many times that I can push them inwards ever so slightly. Like literally on these corners, I can push them inwards ever so slightly. It's not here because the phone case comes off from this side. So it's only here for the most part and really slightly here. It's slight either way. It's really less either way. But even like the less way, it's slightly more here. Now this isn't a big deal for me, but it irritates me from time to time. Every time I pick my phone up, my grip just makes it rattle a little bit, like it's getting fit into place. And again, it's not a huge deal, but it just gives me a lot of OCD that the case wasn't on it properly, even though it still is on it properly, and it still gives you the perfect amount of protection there is. But I think you're going to be okay if you don't take the case off literally 10 times a day every day. So you should be golden. With all this said, let's talk about the Lumos then. This is really good for the ones who like to rock a clean look with a completely transparent case. The best thing about this is that it's one of the most protective, completely transparent cases I have ever seen. That's it. It's a thick case and it's still very easy to slide on. The slim profile of the case keeps bulk and extra weight away from the phone and helps you travel light, unlike the other two cases. This case does not have an inbuilt screen protector or a front element at all. It's just a simple yet protective back case for your 6T. It does have a front lip though, which will save the phone screen from damage if it falls flat by maintaining a distance between the screen and the floor. The buttons are really tactile to click, and the alert slider is also very easily accessible. It doesn't offer any fancy flaps on the ports like the alert slider. Doesn't offer any fancy flaps on the alert slider or the charging port, so you're not gonna get the same amount of water resistivity as you would get on the other two cases. But again, it's not that big of a trade-off because the OnePlus 6T itself is water resistant to a certain level, so you're not missing out on a lot. The corners of the Lumos have some extra material onto it, so if your phone falls corner first, it will absorb quite a lot of impact and protect your phone from absolutely shattering away. Apart from this, I'll be very honest, all I have to say about this case is that what you see is what you get. And it's as simple as that. There's a few things I want to say about all these three cases though. First off, the transparent bits of, say, the Guardian and also the Lumos are resistant towards scratches. And using Poetic cases for the past 2 years and even more, because I've had this one even more than 2 years, I can say with personal experience that your transparent case or the transparent bits of your case will not get a yellow tint like some of those cheap transparent back cases would eventually get. But since I used my 3T for about 2 years, well over 2 years, and the case never turned yellow, well, that's my personal experience, so you can take my word for it. And if that's something that concerns you a lot, you can head for this or the Lumos, whichever you like. Speaking of which, if you have made a decision on which case you want to get, make sure to head to the links in the description and get one for yourself as soon as possible. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below which case you find to be the best. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to go ahead and do that, and do that ring thingy. There's a notification bell on that. Just make sure to click that so that you don't miss updates, because YouTube is messing everything up. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.